party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
They're getting water on the fire, but there are embers blowing uphill, and now a new fire. Go ahead. Over to the left, there's another structure catching on fire near the top of this hill. This is directly up from Veneta and Sunswept Drive. You can see the fire in that patio starting on the left-hand side of your screen. Some brush in the middle. There's another house that hasn't been touched yet, but there are two, I think that's two houses that are now on fire, well involved. LA City Fire just getting on scene, getting water on the fire. I wonder if we are going to see them drop some water over here, but this is a completely separate part of town. We are in the San Fernando Valley on the Studio City side, kind of right at the edge of Studio City and Sherman Oaks, I would say. And this fire is going really, really good. I almost wonder how long this has been going on. There comes the water drop. They are now dropping water. We were on our way back to Van Nuys Airport to refuel from the Palisades fire.
Get out! Bro, push up, push up! Push up! Holy f***! Holy f***! There's a lady there. She's trying to get the fire out.
So I am evacuating my home, and it's so hard to leave the podcast studio behind. I know that's sounds insane, but I have everything, like my son's birth certificate, but just to leave all this, podcast studio is such a big deal to me because it connected me to so many of you guys, and just to give you an idea, this is the podcast studio, and then I don't know if you can see. So it's pretty close, I don't know what I'm gonna lose, but it's weird.
Those citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Do you?
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
Vulgar from the Vulgar Locker Room.
I'm 85 Slim.
Jahan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Corinne from The Kelly Corinne Show.
Hi.
Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Guys, we have a jam-packed night, so we're excited to have Kelly co-hosting with us, and everyone on Vulgar is also streaming on his channel, so shouts out to the Vulgar Locker Room. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we're not that vulgar over here. But you will learn something new tonight. We have a jam-packed night. I'm going to ask that everyone hit the like button that's watching on everyone's networks. Please hit the like button. Also, here at the new party, we are going to be taking super chats tonight. Gray, want to let everyone know what we're doing tonight with the super chats.
Everyone that sends a super chat, we're gonna match your donation, and we're gonna send it to Red Cross for the victims of the fires in California.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Also, any subscriptions bought tonight will be matched as well. So any proceeds tonight will be all donated because we have a very close tie to this. Jay, who's a part of the new party, lives in the area. Jay, can you let everyone know what you're seeing and where you live specifically?
I live in East LA County. Probably about, maybe 35-minute drive from downtown Los Angeles on a good day. And it's just so sad because one, it's one of the saddest parts is what a familiar feeling it is, because how often it happens in California, where the sky just looks apocalyptic, it just has this orange tint, it's just smoky, it's literally raining ash, and it's just sad how familiar it is. It's just almost, we say fire season here, but literally it's just literally fire season. We know at the end of fall, beginning of winter, it's going to be ashy and it's going to be something's going to be burning and people are going to be evacuating. Like it's 100% chance. And it's getting to the point where it's just really sad. But the reason why this is so significant, because it's just the location. It's not in the hills, not in the mountains. It's literally in the heart of Los Angeles. And it was almost inevitable because we've just been getting so lucky that the winds have always been blown the other way. And this time we didn't. And we had really strange, some 100-mile per hour, hurricane level winds and without a hurricane. And it was just like the perfect time bomb of everything being dry because of fire season, the heavy winds blowing actually west instead of inland, and then everything just being dry in Los Angeles. It was just almost like the perfect storm, literally the perfect storm of what can go wrong.
Is this the worst it's ever looked?
I think it's the worst it's ever looked because of, this is not the worst it's ever looked, this is the worst it's ever looked because of the location. But the worst it's ever looked was at the toward the end of 2020 when it literally was 12 noon and dark outside because there was so much smoke and ash. It almost would like, I imagine living near a volcano would be like. That was the worst it's ever been. Like, that was the worst I've ever seen it personally. But I think this is the worst because of the location and where it's at and how many people are being affected.
Your best friend Volger goes through a snowstorm, then you go through fire. It's right at the exact same time.
It's crazy right now.
It is crazy.
Kelly's in the snowstorm too.
That's crazy. I don't think people understand how much it doesn't rain here. That's why we have such a fire season. It literally does not rain here. Like it does not.
A year. I live there.
It doesn't rain in Southern California.
Yeah, I think people realize that is so true, and how it's nice, but the drawback is that we literally live in a giant matchbook.
Yep. Yeah, it was bad in 2020. I remember going down to 405 because I stayed in Valley Village in North Hollywood, and the 405 was just on fire. So
yeah, 2020 was bad. It was bad. That was the worst. I remember it personally, but I think this is worse. Just like I said, the population density affected. Yeah.
But they will not get rid of the brush. Like when I would go hiking, in the mornings, you could just see like dead brush along. Everything is dead. Like you got some greenery, but there's a lot of dead rubbish and brush in the mountain.
Oh yeah, definitely.
LA period, because it doesn't rain.
Yeah, literally. Hey, Jay, it's a giant match.
Jay, I was going to ask you, man, what exactly is the reason for these fires? Number one, because when I used to drive, this was like a every year thing, man. Every year occurrence, like. It would clog up the road and you can't see the road. It fog up the road. People have accidents. I've been seeing it every year, man. What is actually the reason?
The reason is, one, it literally does not rain. You have, like he said, it's dry brush everywhere. And when it does rain, it's all at one time. Like it literally rains for maybe like 2 weeks in January and February. And that is to fill up all of our aquifers, to moisten everything down, to make it fireproof. And that's why by the time it gets to November, October, it is dry. It is just, it's a giant matchbook.
So essentially you're saying it's guaranteed to start a fire every year.
Every single year, yeah. Whether it's an accident or if there's people that have been arrested because they've been arrested for, they've been caught starting fires on purpose. So whatever it is, it's guaranteed every year. And you can clear all the brush you want. I mean, I think 48% to 50% of California is federal land. They clear all the brush they want, but unless they can find a way to make it rain more, to make all the brush absorb moisture, it's an inevitability at this point. And I don't know how long it's sustainable, but I mean, every year, California seems to bounce back, but I don't know this one. I don't know because of the area that it's in and how many people are losing their homes, and then all the. Actually, I want to ask you a question too. So basically, people were getting their fire insurance canceled in real time by insurance companies.
We talked about that
and
last
that happened
night,
in Florida. People were getting their flood insurance canceled in real time.
Yeah, it happened.
Wow, what a coincidence.
During the hurricane, Nora and Slim all live in Florida. I think I'm the closest to the water out of everybody. I saw boats like right up on the road, but the insurance has been like crazy.
I think private insurance should be illegal.
You and Nora did a show last night. I know y'all probably blaming it on aliens or something. So,
My God. Yo, the shade. Hold up. No. Kelly, what are we blaming it on? What are Kelly say the number one reason you think it's happening? Because there's so many.
Okay. I do think it is intentional. I do, because there's just so much, and I'm going to be very, very careful what I say on YouTube because my TikTok account was banned and I got it back. But there's a lot of weird stuff that has happened that have benefited certain people. The fires, as far as certain evidence has been destroyed, certain political people that were maybe political people that had things that they maybe have wanted to get destroyed. I also think there is a spiritual element to it, of course, you know, as a Christian, but it just seems where the fires are, and I understand wildfires spread quickly. That's no one can dispute that. I'm not going to say that's intentional. A wildfire, you can't control the wildfire, but I just think, you know, where they were, certain things, even the tunnels were getting burned. It's very, very sus to me. It seems, and like Jay said, I mean, insurance being, you know, you can't get your insurance. Who benefits from that? Who's going to be able to buy that land, buy that property, because those people can't, you know, rebuild, you know, all of that. I'm just saying, because also there's no water. There's no water. There's no water.
What I'm seeing on X, and I don't know how true this is, so again, this is allegedly, people are saying that they're already getting phone calls for their $3 million properties. And
absolutely. That happened in Hawaii. That
cash.
happened in Maui. People are getting cash offers in real time.
Yeah.
Like,
so clearly they're trying to clear the land.
Capitalism has no soul.
Exactly. At least we're on the same page with that, Jay.
Yeah.
So
that
Jay,
happened in Maui too.
Let me ask you this, because you are the super left person on the call. You're in super left California. Do you have any blame for your leadership right now?
The only blame I have, honestly, is obviously the mayor of Los Angeles is speechless, because what can she say? She can't say everything was done that could have been done, because it wasn't. She diverted millions of dollars to the police department, even though crime was down, from the fire department to the police department. And she literally, and the thing about that is if this was just like some random occurrence, I would be like, okay, she can't be blamed. But this happens every year, and it was inevitable to happen in Los Angeles. We just needed the right windstorm to go right one time, and we had it, and it was the worst windstorm we've ever had. And they got caught with their pants down, and they should have known, and it was inevitable. And they've been warned. I was watching videos of fire scientists warning them, everyone warning them, hey, this is going to happen very soon. And they're diverting money from the fire department. So yeah, I think the mayor of Los Angeles is definitely to blame.
And
I think
what I want to say, and you guys can just jump in, but Jay, basically, like you saying that this reminds me of New Orleans when the levees broke. Everybody said, "Oh, they knew about the levees, like they knew that this was going to happen, but they didn't have anything prepared for during Hurricane Katrina."
Yeah, exactly. But I think that situation too is like. They because I hate saying this, I don't want to like feed your conspiracy theories, but a disaster is so much more beneficial than prevention.
Slim love that
a disaster creates so much opportunity. So I'm not saying it's confused, like they started the fire on purpose, but I think they're saying why, when we could just buy all this, you know, the most expensive land in the country for potentially pennies on the dollar.
Pennies on the dollar. Yep. So another thing I want to play for you guys and get your reactions, and then we'll start with Vulgar and Slim for this. I want to play what's going on with the DEI stuff, because Jay, I'm sure you'll have a lot to say, but we'll let them go first. Let's play this clip.
Recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California, and the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have DEI, and we have DEI, and we have DEI. And yet And yet, I'm wondering now, if your house is burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters
You
are?
can respond and then we'll...
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is Black women. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House. And I can promise you, it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas, we are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people actually decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable.
Who gives a shit if the fire chief is gay? I'm sorry, but who gives a flying fig about who she likes to sleep with? Can you fight the fucking fires, madam? That's the relevant question. We don't care about your lady parts, and we don't care who you want having access to them. Can you fight fires? Can you make sure there's water in the fire hydrants when you realize in Ventura County this is a massive problem? When you realize that California is going through a drought where they haven't had rain in weeks and months, I don't care who turns you on. And you know why they have only 100 women in a squad of 3,300? Because women tend to be smaller and not as strong. And unless you lower the requirements to become a firefighter, most women can't pass the test. This is an absurdity. This is just like the Secret Service and what happened with Trump. We needed all these women in there who weren't even tall enough to protect the 6'3" president. Under this woman, Ms. Crowley, the department created a diversity, equity, and inclusion bureau to train firefighters not on refilling the hydrants or what to do when they're empty, but on the importance of DEI.
So, Vulgar, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that DEI should be used in all positions, or what do you think?
I think DEI can be beneficial when it's used in the process of searching for talent. I think where we're going wrong with DEI is that we're using it to make a decision. That's the issue with DEI. You're using it to make a decision, saying, okay, we need this many people of color, we need this many people, instead of being like, okay, all the people of color didn't cut it. So the white man cut it, we're gonna put him in place. And then not feel bad about it when it happens. That's my issue. If we're just putting somebody in a position based on their whatever, that's the issue that I have. I do think there's a place for DEI, but not in making final decisions.
Slim?
Man, DEI could kick rocks, number one. Everything that lady said, I don't know who that was, but she hit everything on the nose. And the other lady, the sister that was talking on CNN, that was Scott Jennings, right? That was that guy.
Yeah.
And
I love that dude.
Jasmine Crockett.
Yo, that dude is awesome. But the attitude, you know what I mean? Like, they go to the race thing and she goes back to the ancestors and all that stuff. And every time I watch these women get on these shows, all I could think about is the opportunity that they have to be on those platforms and the salaries that they're making, their designer clothes that they're wearing. That's all I can think of, bro. And when they go back to the slavery and the reparations, and this is why Black people deserve this because of the skin color, it's all hoopla to me, man. It's all hoopla. I think whoever qualifies should be the one, you know, as a pilot, as a firefighter, police officer, doesn't matter if you're a woman, doesn't matter if you're gay, if you qualify to save lives and you want to do that, do it. It doesn't have to be a specific scenario. Oh, she's black, she deserves to be here, or she's a woman, she deserves to be here. That's obsolete right now, and that's how I feel about DEI, man. It could kick rocks.
Kelly, how do you feel about her saying the women aren't strong enough?
Okay, with Jasmine Crockett, she is a race baiter. She always goes to race. My thing is, the woman that is the fire chief, she's not black. So why are you talking about black women being the most educated, which we are, but I'm just like, I just think she says things to, get her base going. Yeah, sister, that kind of, stuff.
Validation.
And I will say, I mean, I do, we'll talk about the FBA stuff later, but I agree with Megyn Kelly. I think firefighting should be a male dominated field. 100%. Women are weaker. If my house was on fire, I don't want 10 broads coming in my house to put it out. I don't. I'm sorry.
So, Jay, we know you're a feminist. How do you feel?
Great with the shots.
That's not an insult.
He's not insulted by that. He likes that.
Yeah. I'm a girl, Dad. Of course I'm a feminist. My question is, what does it matter? Like, if you had a squad of 9,000 men, these fires will still be burning. They'll pounce on a thing to politicize anything, and it's just sad. Like, they're just like Trump will just pounce on anything to politicize it. Like, if we have 9,000 female firefighters or 9,000 males, these fires are still burning. And I'm sorry, but if my house is on fire and 10 girls show up with a hose to put my out, I'm fucking happy. Like,
do you think they'll be able to drag you out the house? Think they'll be able to pick you up if, God forbid, you're on the second floor?
I've had my girlfriend who's like half my size be angry, and they get super strength, and she has that mom strength too. It just comes out of nowhere.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to piss off the woman that comes save you then.
But no, what I'm saying is, if 10 chicks show up at your house with a hose, with a fire hose to put your fire out, you're like, no, I'm gonna wait for the dudes. No, you're gonna be like, please put my fire out, and it's still gonna go out. So that's what I don't get.
I'd rather have the guys. That's the thing. I'd rather have. I want anybody to help me, and they're taking volunteers. But I'm just saying, for the job, I just feel like men are best suited for the job. And here's the thing: you guys have a shortage of firefighters, due to various political things. The jab.
We needed more cops.
What was that?
Because we needed more cops, apparently.
And I'm with you on that. Cutting the fire squad, or whatever you want to call it, that was crazy.
Police.
I'm with you on there, Jay.
Oh yeah, I do think we should defund.
Now refund the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. That's a good one, guys. Woo. Well, Gray, you didn't give your position. Do you like DEI?
My issue with what I would say, I think, like Vogel said, DEI has a certain place in certain industries, but what I feel like with the right, like with Ted Cruz and the whole Cancun thing, nobody comes out and says, oh, Ted Cruz did this because he's Cuban. Like, the left doesn't do these types of things. I feel
because he's a gutless coward.
Huh?
Ted Cruz is a gutless coward, that's why.
But I feel like the right is going to be like, oh, okay, this person's gay, this person's this person's that. Okay, just because they put the DEI doesn't necessarily mean if they had those white firefighters, it would have went any differently. That's my issue. There's no empirical evidence that says this will be absolutely different if we did this differently.
Thank you.
Wow. Speaking of gutless, Gavin Newsom is too, but that's okay. We're going to switch gears here. We're going to go to the quad.
Real quick.
Sure.
She mentioned volunteer firefighters. Do you guys know where most of the volunteers are coming from?
Where?
Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good thing to
know.
What?
How?
Mexico's sending thousands of firefighters
to Mexico. They sent them. Okay, I get what you're saying.
They have to volunteer that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's what's up. Shout out to Mexico.
Canada's also sent planes, and they're helping.
Shout out to Canada.
Like
that's a slick way to get in the country. They ain't going back home. They're gonna be like, yeah, let's go fight.
Bro, you're really gonna
let's go fight them fires. They gonna take them cribs.
You got to put some air tags on them.
Yeah, they gonna take them cribs. Yeah.
A little racism
all
in
right.
there.
Nah, man, I love Mexican. You got me fucked up. Oh,
Oh
sorry.
Lord. It's okay, babe. We're gonna shift gears here. We're gonna switch over to the quademic because that's California was ground center for it. So we're keeping with trend. Let me play this clip on what they're predicting with the quademic.
Quademic of infectious diseases hitting hard this season. And joining us now is Dr. Stephanie Widmer with more on how to stay healthy. Doctor, good morning to you. It's great to have you.
Thank you guys for having me. So I guess let's talk about these viral syndromes.
And I want to jump right into some of the numbers here as we get into it, because the flu, COVID, RSV, norovirus making the rounds this winter. RSV cases higher than they were this time of year last year. 35 states reporting high or very high levels of respiratory illness. And the CDC estimates that there have been at least 5.3 million illnesses, 63,000 hospitalizations, and 2,700 deaths from the flu so far this season. So we just mentioned earlier, people calling this a quademic. Is that really an accurate description? And how would you explain what's really going on?
So this term quademic, it refers to the convergence of high levels of, just like you said, flu, COVID, RSV, and this norovirus. And there are multiple factors at play here. Different social, environmental, biologic factors that are causing these numbers that, in New York, it's not unprecedented to see high levels of viral syndromes, especially during the winter when there's indoor crowding, increased travel, lots of different gatherings. But there are other factors at play here, such as viral evolution, new strains that emerge, lots of different things.
Doctor, how do we know what we have? Because so many of these symptoms can be so similar.
So that's completely true. So fever, chills, headache, body aches, fatigue, things like that are pretty much across the board with different viral syndromes. Norovirus is a little bit different. On the other hand, that presents primarily with GI symptoms, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, aches, things like that. But that's not necessarily unique to norovirus. You can have some overlap with the flu. So based on symptoms alone, it's not always entirely possible to tell which viral syndrome you have.
Wow. Doctor, when we pulled up the first map that showed where in the country there was very high or just high, I was struck by right here, the areas where it's very high, it's not just in one concentrated area. Can you explain what may be causing where we're seeing those spikes? Is it just population? And then what are best remedies? When should you go to the emergency room?
Sure. So like I said, it depends. Different outbreaks happen for different reasons, indoor crowding, different strains, different things that are going on in the community. But, pretty much across the board, the way we care for these viral syndromes is what we call conservative management.
So Kelly, you're in DC. What's your thoughts on the quademic? Do you know anyone that's sick? What do you think?
You're muted, Kelly.
Sorry. No, I don't know anyone that's sick right now, but I have heard of people, in passing that had RSV, last year. But to be honest with you, Nora, I'm just all these viruses and stuff. I just think people just have to do what they can do to stay well. I'm not really paying attention to what the media is saying when it comes to these type of illnesses and things like that, because I just think people need to do what's best for them.
Vulgar, will you mask up if they make us go back in masks?
I'm gonna try not to.
They still wear masks where I live.
They still watching the news.
Yeah, they're gonna have to tell me. Other than that,
I can't wait to slip.
I'm not volunteering.
That's how I judge it. Anybody still wearing the mask, still watching the news, man.
Yeah,
that's how that go down.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. I think a lot of people do it because they're not comfortable with their face. But that's just me.
Oof. Well, great. If they have another V, are you going to take it? You can get the jab.
It depends on the situation. I did get the jab when it came out. I had to go to Puerto Rico, so I had to use the card to get into places. Was it made too fast? Yes. Like I've said on here before, my mother works for the CDC, so I have somewhat more trusting of Dr. Fauci than most people. But I'm gonna put my faith in the scientists and hope for the best.
With Dr. Fauci at?
Slim, I
It's
know
retired.
you believe the leprechauns and the vampires made COVID, but
Oh man, I just know I would never trust Dr. Fauci. Like what Cat Williams say, Dr. Fauci ain't your doctor.
he said that.
Yo, you ain't seen the Cat Williams special?
Nah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't see how y'all did that.
You never got it?
Hell, me? Heck no. For what?
I got it because of Gray Mars.
Huh?
Thank you, Gray. Thank you.
I
He's the reason why I got
You're
it.
supposed to get 2 of them.
Right.
I did the first one, and it felt so bad. Like I'd rather had a damn COVID.
But you got. Oh yeah. Kelly,
Nah,
did you
it was
get
for 2 shots. I just did the first. I'm not going back. You gotta be dumb as hell. I woke up and the ceiling was on the floor.
Oh wow.
See, my thing was, and I'm a logical guy, y'all. So y'all could shoot me, the chat be tearing me up. We all human beings, right? And at the end of the day, there's a lot of human beings that could be allergic to certain things, whether it be food, fruit. And you mean to tell me this is for every human being on the planet? I know people that's allergic to syringes. I know people that's allergic to things like that. And in my knowledge, the only thing that's available for everyone is H2O. It's the only thing you cannot make. So with that being said, you have to convince me that this works. Now, if you had some type of history where 10 years ago, when I took it, I'm good. That history is not null and void. We're going to be the people 10 years from now talking about what it's done for us or what it didn't do or whatever the case may be. So I think it was an experiment.
Jay, did you get the shot?
Jay?
Of course, but can we stop calling it the jab? It's so dramatic.
No, because of the censor.
We have the talking code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason why we're talking like that. I don't really care. I would be open. There's a lot I would say.
And I had a video taken down due to medical misinformation.
To Slim's point, we have over 20 years, I think more than that, of data on the COVID vaccine because it's been given to dogs for decades. If you look and get your dogs vaccinated, coronavirus is one of the things they've been vaccinated for a very long time.
With the MDNR, what is it? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
mRNA, yeah.
And 2, other 2, vaccines. I'm not saying the COVID vaccine because I think COVID, at least now, I don't think it's even, people do die from it. My friend's father died from it. Is that dangerous? But we're seeing the tip of the iceberg, and vaccines are the only reason we're not facing extinction as a species.
So why we ain't taking when the flu was out? Why we ain't taking no vaccine when the flu was popping?
We do.
The flu was popping like forever.
Millions of people get the flu vaccine, and the flu has killed millions of people.
When the last time the flu killed somebody?
The flu killed 20 people every year.
I hope so. Bring back the flu.
The flu killed 25% of the world's population in the 1920s.
It's people
in 2019, it just didn't exist. That's all.
It did exist. Millions of people died from flu every year.
So many people died from COVID, even if they was in a car accident. It was COVID. The flu did not exist. I got a T-shirt that said "What happened to the flu?"
That doesn't prove anything. I can just Google right now how many people every year die from the flu.
No, he's saying the hospital.
I'll say this.
That's what he's
P.
saying.
Diddy's baby mama died from the flu. Kim Porter died from the flu.
I know. Yeah. That's my point. There's over 120,000 people.
Well, no, they said pneumonia. It was
every
pneumonia.
year. Hear me out.
The flu.
There's over 100,000 people that die from the flu every year.
Yeah.
This is documented. Yeah. My point is nobody died from the flu during COVID.
How do we know that?
That's my point. Every death was COVID. The flu just was like, nah, we good.
That's not true. I think people asserted that, but we can probably Google 2020 deaths from the flu and we'll get a number.
Okay.
Well, you probably can.
I want to move off of this. I don't want to get my page shut down or Kelly's or Vulgar's.
Hey,
they will
I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna close with this. Anybody that was unjabbed was supposed to be dead by now. But go ahead.
That's not true.
Remember?
Well, we're gonna switch gears here, guys. I'm not. My spirit's saying let's move on. Right? We're gonna talk about Sunny Hostin, everybody's favorite co-host of The View. Let me play this clip.
How about we add some additional fraud charges onto you? And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud, which I would say you could get about 20 years in prison. So that's a death sentence for him. Really?
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. The insurance firm, American Transit, was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. Emmanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier.
Slim, what's your thoughts? Is he guilty? Did he do it? Allegedly.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's kind of weird how that just popped up. If he did it, hey, he got to face the consequences. But for his old shorty to be turning him in, I think that's kind of suspect. I think he might have voted for Trump or something. I think that's why she lit right now. No cap. I think she trying to get him cased up.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Other than that, I don't know.
Is she gonna hold him down, Vulgar? Or is she gonna leave him?
Oh, she out of there.
Facts.
Let that account get low. Get below 6 digits. She's up out of there.
She really did. You said, because I missed that. She reported.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like she accidentally did it or something? Or
let me see. I missed that too, Kelly. I'm kind of
they're saying that she the one who kind of squealed on him and put him up for the RICO charges.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what I seen come on my feed earlier.
Oh wow!
Like she going against him.
I don't believe that. I'm
That's why I say the media be just doing stuff. So it's like when it's new, I kind of like to wait, but this is fresh out the oven right here.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
what I'm saying. But my understanding is that she accidentally threw him under the bus. That was my understanding. I could be wrong.
It's gonna be all speculation right now.
Yeah, but the way she act like she's concerned from getting 20 years. Be weird.
Yes, you're right. Poston knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including, she's linked to it. This in some way. They're saying you're right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I seen it on my feed. I'm like, what? She turned him in, and that's my first thought. Damn, he must have voted for Trump.
Oh yeah, she trying to reduce time.
Or she snitched, and maybe somehow she was involved in his business.
She trying to get reduced time. She knew it was coming down.
That's what I would think. Because why would she just snitch on her husband? Well, I don't know.
Let me go free, and he take the rap. That's what that sound like. She's not a ride or die.
Kelly, would you have snitched on your husband?
No.
Hey,
I don't think she did that. I think it was.
That's why I questioned it. Yeah, that's why I questioned it.
And why would she be so bold talking about Trump if they was doing fraud?
I don't know.
Those
everybody thought Trump was gonna lose. Keep that in mind. Everybody was free out here. The devil, Puffy want to get out.
Hey, the main people who act like they clean are the loudest about that. Are the main ones doing the crime. The main ones going after Trump. They had skeletons in their closet also.
Facts.
So that's why.
And it ain't over. It ain't over. They still messing with him. It's all good.
Mr. Left, what you thinking?
Well, one thing could be too is that she was involved, and he told her, she want to be clean, just throw me under the bus.
But then he could have came forward though, if that was the case, right?
No, what if just he didn't want her to go down, or he just didn't want her, or what if she was lightly involved, or she found out and he didn't want her to go down, and he could have some integrity. Who knows? He could have just told her, "Hey, go ahead and stitch on me, or go ahead and just, save yourself."
Spoken like a true feminist, right there, my man. Jay.
I just think if that was the case, I think he would have just came forward like the whole. Remember way back when with T.I. and Tiny. T.I. coming forward and saying, he took that up because he knew they had, didn't want Tiny to be implicated or anything, and
But I don't think you want to openly just confess to something that's going to get you 20 years either. I think you want to have a shot at getting something, reduced or a lighter sentence. You don't want to just openly come out and confess either.
For sure.
Wow.
And also too, back to your point of how people talking about Trump are the loudest. Trump is the loudest about things, so that's why I think he looks guilty all the time.
He is.
He's literally the loudest.
We can't lie about that. That's why.
So if that's your logic, then Trump is guilty of everything.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but he is quite.
But you don't get to the top by being clean. He
was born at the top. He was born at the top. He didn't have to get there. He was born there.
Nah, he was born. He was born a little bit lower.
No, his family had money.
I don't know why people act like he just had billions.
My favorite thing about Trump supporters
is his family had a lot of money.
Like, we don't like coastal elites, and they vote for coastal elite.
Huh?
He got that loan
from his father.
Loan.
Yeah.
Hey man, every business owners have loans, bro. It doesn't matter how rich they are.
A small $1 million loan from your father at 18,
and they inherited $400 million.
His family had money.
He's still getting loans right now.
His family had money. That's something I don't understand. Why we have to push the narrative like he, pulled himself up from his bootstraps. Like he did come up. He did have family had money. Like that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay.
There we go.
Exactly.
Millions every day, bro.
See, that's what I
living
like
in their car doing Lyft like me every day.
That's what I plan to leave for my kids. I plan to leave a legacy back.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I don't want nobody to be like, man, your dad was black. You had money. Nah, it is what it is.
That's why I get upset when people say, well, Trump had or he had a spoon. You can blow it. The fact that he was able to continue it.
That's true. That's true. People lose money all the time.
Yeah.
They say a lot of young people. They say a lot of young people that hit the lotto, they end up dead like a year later. Too.
Guys, he's lost tons of money. His businesses go bankrupt all the time.
But most people got businesses. That's what happened. Most businesses don't make it past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep failing, you try again, and then finally you succeed. You can't just focus.
What did he succeed at? What business has he succeeded at? Besides real estate, the one he inherited.
That tower you look at all the time, the one
that's the business he inherited. The real estate one is the only one he inherited. Everything else he started himself. He failed.
Elon Musk's ugly truck blew up in front of
I hate those things. We see him all the time here.
Y'all be just trying to damage my boy. He ain't got no love in America.
I know.
That nigga ran the country
but
and everything.
That's why they say
it's mostly Trump supporters on here. Me and Jada only Kamala Harris supporters on here.
Yeah.
I love it because I like listening to Jay try everything to downplay Trump.
I don't try. I do. I succeed, and you guys ignore it.
I laugh at it. I liked it. I encourage it because it's like
saying
the TDS is amazing, bro.
No, you guys have TDS. The TDS is denying it. I just say things that are really happening.
If there was
and the TDS is denial.
Hey, they should make a vaccine for TDS. Would you take it?
It's like watching like someone constantly rip you off and you keep trusting them over and over again. It's like what I see Trump supporters. It's battered wife syndrome, honestly.
I'd rather him rip me off first. I haven't got ripped off yet.
Yes.
I got ripped off the last 4 years. Last 4 years. I'm like, man, this got to get up out of here.
I bet you Biden don't even know there's fires in Cali right now.
Huh?
Biden don't even know there's fires in Cali right now.
Nor what?
I said it's wavering.
He does know. He told Gavin Newsom that anything he needs, they gave it to him, and they're going to reimburse California for all the resources that they're spending.
You like Gavin Newsom?
There's no way.
No, you can't like Gavin Newsom.
What's wrong with Gavin Newsom?
Oh!
Besides the fact that he's rich and white, that is my key thing that I just like about politicians.
You like Gavin Newsom.
Wait. Okay, hold on. This is my thing with Gavin Newsom regarding this fire thing. Y'all don't have any water because of these fish. As someone that's against capitalism, shouldn't you be upset that because the fish people donated to him? That's why he protected those fish. The whatever the
tarp. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like and so I'm just saying, if I was a California resident, doesn't matter which side of the aisle I'm on, I would have a problem with my governor to protecting the fish, and now we're short water because these fish people donated to your campaign. That's what I'm saying.
I never said by any means he's always perfect, but we also don't mention that he's also deconstructed dams to increase flow back to Southern California. He deconstructed dams against capitalist interests. So there's two sides to everything. And by no means is he perfect, but is he far better than Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yes. Is he far better than Gray Davis? Yes. Is he better than Brown? Maybe. But as far as what we've had in the past 20, 30 years, yeah, he's definitely the best thing we've had.
Wow. You mean that?
All right.
Yeah, that's
Schwarzenegger created the largest deficit in the state's history. So we have a bad record with Republicans.
You guys voted for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, actually, no, he didn't win the majority. But in a runoff election, you don't have to win a majority. You just have to get more than anybody else. He won by.
So you guys are indoctrinated. You're bamboozled.
Hold on, we're getting off topic. Go ahead.
All right, let me stop.
All right, we're gonna switch gears to our last topic, guys. Jay, you haven't been with us when we talk about the whole FBA movement, but we are gonna switch gears. Everybody asked that we bring someone that's foundationally Black American on, so we brought Kelly. Even though Gray and Vulgar and Slim are, maybe Kelly will satisfy the need. So I'm going to play this first clip. Charleston White has been going hard this week against FBA. Let's watch this clip when he calls out Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar.
Oh. Yeah, like it's been 3 days. That bitch ass nigga ain't pop outside. What's going on?
Man, Tariq know he better ignore me. Yeah, Tariq better do what Lil Boosie doing. The best way to beat me is to ignore me. But boy, if you respond to me, I'm going to have your family encouraging you to crash out. I'm going to be saying some mean shit about the kids, your dead mama, the cat.
You sound like me, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, I talk about the disabled autistic baby. You better not have no autistic baby, nigga. I'm going to make fun of an autistic kid. Nigga, your baby could have just got molested. I'm going to make fun of the uncle molesting the kids, all kind of shit. I'm a mean, unruly nigga.
Yo, Charleston, what about Dr. Umar? That bitch ass nigga ain't built the school yet. I'm in Philly. Where the fuck is the school?
Because he buying pussy. I'm gonna upload the screenshots. The man is a borderline pervert. He know how to walk to the line of pervertism and then kind of walk back.
Talk you shit, boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna post the screenshots today. That boy like to look at pussy and jack off, and then so this is what he do. Wherever he go out of town, he asked the nice looking ladies to take the picture with their phone and then send him a picture, and that way he got their number, and then he started trying to fuck through the text message.
Oh, this is nasty work, Dr. Umar.
Boy say he dry humping.
Yeah,
he dry humping, bro.
Dirty motherfucker. Yeah, he a Dr. Umar Johnson. See that? Me and him got mutual friends. A guy by the name of Supreme, that's the RBG. A guy by the name of Baba Amin, who's the founder and the director of a school that's called the Uhu Academy. UHURU. See, Baba Amin got the school built. So that's who he's trying to mimic himself after of, is a guy by the name of Baba Amin. So me and him personally know Baba Amin. And everybody knows Dr. Umar Johnson trying to play for the 5 wives and not marry them whole legally. He just want 5 hoes in the house so he can get his toes sucked while he fucking one, get his ass blowed in while he fucking one, get his neck massaged while he fucking, and then he suck titties to the other. Because you can't fuck 5 bitches at one time in one household.
Whew, he said a lot. He said a whole lot. Vulgar. Now, you can't say you don't know on this topic. We've done about 4 stories now, 4 shows. I've educated you. What do you think about what he said? Should FBA and Tariq Nasheed and the whole damn movement be offended by that? Or do you agree with what he said?
I mean, I agree. He said a lot. I've watched a lot more where he's went in on FBA. And I agree.
Why do you agree? You got to hold it down.
I know he
Come
was
on,
just
speak back
saying
to
like
us.
how what he's talking about before, he just saying how like what I'm saying they're separate and begging for reparations. And that's the part where I agree with them on. You didn't show that in this clip, but there's a longer one where he went in about how they just seem kind of soft because they're got all this rah-rah over reparations and saying
I have more clips.
Yeah. To get some money from the white man.
Okay, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Okay. So there's two different things. As far as Charleston White with this video, he's referring to Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed, FBA is not, okay, because I've got so much things going through my head. Tariq Nasheed is not the leader of FBA. FBA it's a lineage. Okay. I prefer the term freedman. Okay. So there's no leader of Black people in America. Our leader would, of course, be the president. So as far as his remarks towards Tariq Nasheed, as a freedman, I don't care nothing about it. Tariq Nasheed can handle that himself. Now, and I actually think what he said was funny. Charleston White is hilarious to me. Now, what he's done, why people are upset with him or the freedmen are upset with him now or lately is because he has made some remarks specifically talking negatively about Black people, about freedmen, where he's saying, you should be thankful to the white man. Everything you have is because of the white man, that type of thing. So that for me as a freedman, that is offensive. And as far as reparations, my opinion is it is a debt that is owed. We are entitled to reparations, and people will make the argument that, well, you were not a slave. You weren't a slave. So how are you? Why do you deserve reparations? Because reparation comes for the turn to repair. Well, all freedmen are negatively affected by slavery to this day for medical reasons. Right now there are various medical issues that disproportionately affect freedmen as a result of chattel slavery. And that's another thing, because this is the other argument that they like to throw out. Well, slavery, every group of people have had slavery. Okay, number one, we're talking about America. And number two, again, America was under chattel slavery. Chattel slavery was not done in everywhere that there was slavery. And if you have to look into chattel slavery, it's a lot. It's more to this. This is another thing. Freedmen or Black people were enslaved. I mean, Africans, the slaves, the American slave trade, that was 400 years. We've only been freedmen for 160 years. And it's not just, again, the medical aspects that we still are suffering from. There's also land. There were once upon, I want to say 1920 or 1905, there were over 1 million farmers. During the 50s and the 60s, so many Black farmers had their lands taken by the federal government. So again, it's a debt that's owed. So I'm not for me, I'm not begging for anything. I want what is rightfully mine. And every other group that has, had issues that were negatively done, to their groups, they have received reparations. And people want to say, well, that was so many years ago. We could look at what happened with the Japanese internment camps. They got that money 50 years later. So, that's my spiel on it, because it's not just about slavery. There was a whole other host of things that had happened after slavery, shortly after slavery, even in the Reconstruction period, that have negatively affected Black people.
Right. So
yeah.
I'm gonna respond to Tariq Nasheed. He has an organization in his name with FBA. That's why he's calling him the leader. I'm gonna allow 85 to respond because I know he probably has a whole lot to say. Go ahead, 85.
Really, Charleston White said it all. I mean, I agree with him 100%. Not only that he's funny, he's really, really truthful. And Dr. Umar, POS to me, I really don't like him. So even as he touched on to that, it made me feel even better on why I don't like him. But yeah, man, like I said, that the whole FBA thing, man, it's like, again, I always lead with the Americans, man. Like, let's just be American. Like, once we get away from that division side of it, and I know that's probably how every society is right now. It's all about division. But once we get rid of that, I think a lot of things have changed, man. We just gotta stop thinking about color, stop thinking about shade, stop thinking about girl, boy, Muslim, Christian. All that division shit gotta go. Excuse my French, but I'm just keeping it real.
For me, I basically look at like the African diaspora, and I didn't learn about this till I was in my 30s. When I went to just regular school, social studies, I always thought that the white people just came on the land, snatched us, grabbed us, threw on the boats. I didn't learn till I was much older that Africa was a willing participant in the slave trade, and Africans are just spread out across the world. So I feel like because of that, FBA should look at, we all are victims of the African diaspora, and, you know, we were all people that were just sold across the world.
But we were not all victims of chattel slavery. Haiti and Cuba were.
Right.
So as far as Haiti and Cuba, you feel like they don't deserve, like I know Haiti was with French, so you feel like France should have to pay them, or because I know French effed them over a lot of stuff.
I'm not too versed in what happened there, but yes, yes, to answer your question, yeah, because I do know in Jamaica, I'm going to assume that France paid the slave owners money for the. Actually, no, it wouldn't have been paid because there was a revolt. No, yeah, no, it wouldn't have been paid because there was a revolt. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, Gray, yeah, I think, and I do support that. I support other countries that are seeking reparations for slavery. I am an ally in that. I do support that 100%.
Jay, you hear all those black people talking. How do you feel like we deserve reparations, or do you feel like you look at us as a monolith? Do you look at a Jamaican, a Haitian, and all of us as black, or do you see us as a different entity?
I don't feel well versed enough on the like specific topic we're talking about because I guess I missed a few. But I will say I just don't get it how they want to act like this systematic oppression thing is so old and it shouldn't affect anybody anymore. In my dad's lifetime, he lived 60 feet away from me. Syphilis was tested on black people by the U.S. government. Yep. AIDS was unofficially tested on black people in my lifetime. So I just don't act like, look, this systematic oppression thing is so old and so ancient, it doesn't affect anybody. That's just I don't get that argument. I don't get.
They literally tested so many things on black women because doctors believe that black people
exist because of black women.
Yeah,
they don't think you guys can feel pain. They don't think you guys can feel pain.
That's right. Exactly. And it's, I mean, forced sterilization. It's been so many things done medically, experimentation, all of that to specifically black people. And you are right, Jay. And y'all know I'm a conservative. I'm not a victimhood person. So my thing is, it's just a debt that's owed. It's a simple thank you, chat. Henrietta Lacks. They took this black woman's cells right now. You know, Gray, you're pro jab, or you would consider taking a jab. Well, with a lot of vaccinations, various medical things that have come about was a result from Henrietta Flax's cells that were taken from her. She didn't even have the consent from this, and y'all can look up Henrietta Flax, you know, and those pharmaceutical companies made hundreds of, probably billions of dollars off this black woman's cells, and that family is still in Baltimore. Her descendants are still in Baltimore, struggling to this day.
This is the issue I have with the FBA people. You're lumping Gray in. You don't even know his opinion. No offense, Mason. No disrespect. Gray, what do you think about reparations? Because he lumped you in with the other guys on the call.
I think black people deserve reparations, like Kelly was saying. Other groups have gotten it. My thing is that I think it would be difficult for the government to divvy it out, and then once it's divvied out, are the people that are born, and they gonna feel like, okay, I need it too. So I understand it's a complex thing, but I do agree that other groups got it, so black people should get it too.
And they will figure it out, Gray. If it's one thing the government can do, they can figure out.
Straightforward argument.
They will figure out. They'll figure it out.
I think that message was literally for me, Nora. So yeah,
Yes,
I don't believe.
I'll let you speak.
I don't think no reparations is coming. First off, you can
Nope.
stomp your feet, clap your hands, anything you want. What I do know is that if you get your lazy butt up and go to work, or use your mentality to create something, or have an idea, or get involved with something as far as investments, you live in the greatest country in the world that can change your circumstances. That I do know.
It's so funny you said had said that. Did you know there are so many inventions that Black people that slaves and also freedmen that had invented, and they were stolen, the patents or whatever. And again, those people, those descendants didn't have anything, where the white people that stole that. I'll give you one example. There was a guy that had a slave that had invented a tool that aided in shearing cotton. Okay. The slave owner took the patent, got rich, his family, lineage or money, the money kept going down. The wealth, went on to his descendants. Yeah, went on to his descendants. While that guy, his family, they didn't get anything from that patent. Do you think that's fair?
The beast, right?
Well,
that's nature. Look at Tesla.
Mm.
Tesla,
he
got robbed for his. Yeah.
He
got robbed for his. Yeah. If you look at the rap game, a lot of these rappers that came out with songs got them off YouTube and blew up. That's just how the world works. That's not slavery.
So do you feel like nobody else should have gotten reparations? Do you feel like the Japanese shouldn't have got reparations? Because if you have an issue, if that's your argument where you're saying, okay, well, bad stuff happens, tough, well, then you should have that, in my opinion, you should have that same energy for all the other groups that got the reparations. Like, my thing is, I don't know why people have the issue with freedmen getting reparations, but they never say anything about anybody else.
I don't think it's an issue. I just think it's been such a long time. There's been such a dilution within the race. Like, if I've done my lineage, I did come from a plantation of whites and Choctaw. So I got 2 checks coming in. But I just think it's been so long that, and like 85 said, there are so many opportunities. I just feel like it's a waste of time to keep dwelling on that issue. It passed. It's kind of like if you owe a debt, you got 7 years to pay it. And after 7 years, you don't owe it anymore.
So okay, 160 years, you're saying that's too long. But I just told you slavery was 400. It's not even half. Like it's not even half the time.
But you know what though? Here's another thing we got to look at. I'm sorry to cut you off, V. But another thing you got to look at, right? If let's go back to Malcolm X, and we've been marching prior to that. You know what I mean? But Malcolm X was one of those marches, right? If Malcolm X was alive today, and him and Steph Curry was sitting on the couch, he would say, "Nigga, how much you make?" And you asking for what? No, none of us stick together. All these millionaires and everybody claiming for reparations, they all got private planes. What are they doing for the community? When they stick together and do a concert for the youth, or do schools and continue, oh, you know what? Let's create a bank. When they start doing that, we got reparations.
Killer Mike.
That's not reparations.
Killer Mike got Greenwood Bank.
I see. That's what I'm saying. If we're looking for someone to give us something for something that happened years ago, cool. But if we have the opportunity to create something, I think that's a lot more powerful, man.
I just told you that Black people right now are disproportionately disproportionately have various health ailments.
So why are we not fighting for that?
From slavery.
So why are we not fighting for those inventions?
We are. It's called reparations.
No. I'm talking about those inventions you're talking about, right? That should be documented. That was stolen from the white people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are we not protesting for those particular situations? We created this. We should have this. Here's the proof why. Why are we not fighting for things like that?
That's called that's under the reparations that is under the reparations. Like if you go and look up the organizations that are pushing for this, that is in there. Like that is in there. And if you're specifically saying, you know, that gentleman's family or the descendants of those specific inventors, is that what you're saying? Like
no, because it's either we're asking for reparations because of the things that we created and that were stolen by the white man, or we're asking for reparations for slavery. Because not everybody was a slave.
I'm saying it's all encompassing. That's what I'm saying. The reparations, it's for, again, the slavery, the stolen land, it's all.
Let me ask you this: what about the Africans that sold the black people that weren't slaves? Do they still get reparations? Do their family get reparations too, or
why would their family get reparations? They didn't.
I'm asking because I just need to know how it makes sense.
That's a whole other country. It's a whole other country.
No, but we were sold by them first. Like, don't act like
came through. So Africa should be paying us then.
He's basically saying, should they be making the payment?
Well, and it's not just, because people forget this. It's not just, yes, Africans did sell, you know, slaves, but you think it was Africans that had them on those boats? What did the Africans put them on the boats? Was it the Africans that were doing the trading? No, that wasn't Africans. Those were a specific group of people, but a specific group of people, Americans that had done that. You know,
if I was in the car when the people robbed the bank, I'm still going to jail, baby.
But it's two different countries. Like this is what I'm saying. It's two different countries. Like if it was, you know, I would say this. If it was, what was that, Gray?
And America actually has the money to pay for the Africa.
100%.
Let me say this, y'all.
They 100% have the money.
Let me say this. Why I don't think Africa should pay is because with chattel slavery, they were duplicating and having more babies and then making money. They never got their freedom. In Africa, they would get their freedom. They thought that they were selling them into indentured servitude. They didn't think it. Maybe they knew, maybe they didn't know. But usually, typically, it was after 7 years, 10 years, you were free. But no, that wasn't the case. It was generations of having babies and making money off of the family.
If I sell somebody a car, I don't know what they're going to do with that car.
I don't know, man. I
mean, you can't say that. Like Africa, you don't know what somebody's going to do if you sell them something. That's all I'm saying. They can do what they want after they own it.
People going in. I'm not even showing all the comments. 85. They just coming. I got one
more
clip, y'all.
I love when they go in.
Let's break it up for a second. Jesus.
I love it.
Lord,
that's how we turn up around here.
Hey, but I wanted to show something real quick. Y'all see this right here? I don't know if you can see what it says. That's Killer Mike. That's his bank.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay. If y'all worried about reparations, go get an account with Greenwood Bank, and that's putting money into the black community.
Killer Mike, you owe Vogel some money. He just plugged you.
For real. Where's our drop? Anyways,
I ain't sacrificing nothing for black people. The weakest group of humans on planet Earth, black Americans, the weakest group of people, and they think they go demand something and get something. The way you get kicked in your ass, man. Dylan Roof proved to the world that black people ain't shit.
Wow.
George Zimmerman free. Ain't now nigga hunted George down. Ain't now nigga put his new address online. Nothing. It was a white boy shot at George Zimmerman that's doing 30 years. A white boy shot at George Zimmerman, nigga. So now it was black people stood around and watched George Floyd die. Stood around, my nigga, and watched him die. Nobody decided to just dive their body into the cop. So don't tell me nothing about a bunch of weak black motherfuckers just go rally some motherfucking world in peace with civil obedience. Civil disobedience have always been the way. And then if that didn't work, uncivil disobedience, nigga. And if that didn't work, violence. Violence. Motherfucker supposed to die. Keep men doing something to a nigga. Man, you nigga crazy the motherfucker. That's me. I don't want to talk to Tyreek and them. Don't bring no more FBA people up. Bring some ignorant motherfuckers up here.
Truth.
That was, I mean, did you guys at least feel that? I mean, come on, that was extremely disrespectful. And I have to say, I am offended for FBA people because I think the strongest people in the world, in my opinion, are foundationally Black people because for generations, they endured slavery and they're still surviving and thriving today. Even though they don't want to be a part of us Jamaicans, it's okay. I forgive them. But I don't think, I mean, that I felt that to the core. Like, Gray, what do you think about what he said?
I mean, he said we the weakest because we didn't go slide on all these people. I live in Florida. I watched the Trayvon Martin case. I was emotionally upset. But if I go out and do George Zimmerman dirty, the police not even going to let me make it to the station. I'm going to have 68 holes in me. So, like, that's just horrible advice. Like, we have to maintain our composure, handle things through the court system, so that we're respected. We already got a stereotype that we hood, we dumb, we chaotic, we spin in the bin, we not taking care of our kids. So us just playing it cool, I'm actually happy for. I was happy with Sonya Massey happened. Not happy, but that Black people didn't go out riot and destroy stuff. Yeah. And we let the court system handle what needed to be handled.
I agree.
No, I agree with what Charleston White is saying. I don't think he's saying fight in that sense. I think what he's saying is stop doing all this division, stop doing all this FBA, ADOS, talking about we this, we're that, when you're not willing to fight. Y'all sat there and watched these people, unalive instead of jumping in. He's basically saying, if you're not going to do that, leave it alone. I get what he's trying to say. Like, we want to get together and form all these cliques, and all we do is fight each other, but we won't go fight them.
Facts.
Kelly?
I just think it's interesting. This is my thing. Why can't we respect other cultures and separate okay, let's talk about Haiti and Dominican Republic. Though that's Hispaniola. If a Haitian immigrates to Dominican Republic, they will still refer to them as a Haitian. You see what I'm saying? So this is where I'm getting at. My lineage, my heritage is separate from Nora's. I respect Jamaican culture. I respect Moroccan culture, but because Jamaican Americans and foundational Black Americans, freedmen, both share one ancestor, because also freedmen also have other ancestors than I would say African or someone from Mali or someone from Nigeria that came to this country. It's just very different. I don't understand why every other group of people can separate and everyone respects it. But when Black people, or freedmen are saying, hey, we're our own thing, we respect y'all, but we're our own thing, then it's a problem that there's an issue with this division. We're already divided. We're not the same. So that, like, I just think it's funny. Everybody has a problem when Black people start doing stuff, it seems like.
So Jay,
and let me say this, and this is the other thing. I got to land this plane. I'm sorry. This is the other thing. We have seen the negative effects of non-delineation. Other groups will attach themselves to something, to a Black issue, and push what they have going on. And I can get specific examples of that, but I think your audience knows, and I think you guys know that's a reoccurring thing. So I'll end it there.
So Jay, being Hispanic, I know you're Mexican American. And I've always seen Hispanics like have more derogatory stuff to say about Mexicans. I mean, like, do you feel like that's also an issue in Hispanic culture? And what do you think about what Charleston White said about American Blacks?
I think so. At least with Hispanics, I feel like, I'm probably gonna make a lot of Hispanics upset, but it's absolutely true. I feel like they see us, like, when they come to America, they think they're in this club now, and they don't belong to like what they used to anymore. Like, one of the biggest reasons Hispanics, I think, voted for Trump was to stop immigration. which I find, really not only hysterical but really hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they think they belong to this club now, and I don't want to say like they think that they're white now, but it's almost like that. They think that now they're white and they're part of this club, and now they're somehow better. And I'm sure it exists in other cultures, and I think Volga was right. What Charleston White was saying, that if you're gonna talk about it, be about it, but don't just expect something and not when you're not willing to fight for anything. This kind of seemed like what he was like really kind of saying.
So, Jay, this goes with my issue with it. I understand that they want to delineate, and that's fine, they can. But to me, it sounds like they want to get away from being African, which is going to what you're saying. And that's the issue I have. You have African in you, whether you like it or not, you do to some degree. So to then sit there and say you have no connection to Africa, no nothing, to me, I blows my mind. I don't get it. Because I'm not saying you should identify with being African solely. But I feel like it's a white supremacist point. It's to say you have no African in you. We're mixed with all these things. We're different because of that. I mean, that's my thing with it.
Well, I think it's because too. I think most African countries, except for maybe Egypt, didn't even exist when chattel slavery was happening. So I just think maybe they have trouble relating to not necessarily a race, but a nationality in Africa.
That's a very good point, Jay.
So,
very good point.
Like every African country, let's face it, was just drawn by the British, basically, created by white people. Regardless of ethnic lines, regardless of religious lines, regardless of cultural lines, they didn't care. It's like, this is convenient for us, so all you people are Cameroonian now, or all you people are Equatorial Guinean now, because it's convenient for us. So I think that's another thing. Maybe they have trouble too. There's no nationality in Africa to identify with.
Slim.
There is. There's all kinds of nationalities. I don't agree with that. I'm gonna tell you somebody that's from Africa. I don't agree with that. There's all kinds of nationalities. There's Moroccan. There's Sudanese. There's South
What I'm
African.
saying is people that have been here.
Nigerian.
Mostly was tribes before.
I'm saying people that
that's
descended,
nationality.
I'm saying people that descended from people that were can I say the slaves word on here?
Yeah.
You can say that. Yeah.
People that descended from slaves. That there was no, basically they didn't come from a country, they just came from Africa as an entity.
We don't know where they came from. I get that.
They didn't exist.
It's a whole continent.
They didn't exist.
It's a whole continent. Like this is my thing, Nora. Of course, I'm not gonna say of course, because there are some Black people that don't have any lineage to Africa, and that's a whole separate conversation. But I'm gonna speak for me, because I'm not even gonna go there. Let's say, for the sake of argument, my ancestors have descended from Mali or various countries, because I did do my ancestry. I don't know how much truth is in it, but let's just go with the sake of argument that it's legit. Okay, those, like what Jay was saying, those countries that are there now, they weren't even countries when my 33rd grandmother or back was there. So why would I have any type of connection or anything with a continent, with the whole entire continent, or even those specific areas? I don't know anything about that culture. So, and again, if we want to keep it a buck, a lot of Africans, not all, and I don't have any issue with Africans, but a lot, not all, but a lot, when they come here, they have a type of arrogance towards foundational Black Americans. They think they're better. They think, hey, I came here, I was able to open this store. You should, why can't you do this? Or what's holding you back? And my thing is, well, hold on. Maybe you was able to open that store because when you came here and became a legal citizen, you didn't have to pay taxes for 10 years. So, it's a difference, so yeah, there's not, I don't know. I just think it's crazy to think like I should have some connection to a country that I don't even know anything about.
Slim, what's your response to that? Are they being held back? Like, what do you think with that mentality?
My thing is, again, man, I mean, I love my people. There's no way to get away from my people. But the reality is my people don't stick together. And until we can march, and we always march for a cause, or, when something happens, whatever, and then it's over. But again, when we stop looking at what this person has or what that person has, or I need more money than that person, like we have that mentality of the physical needs as opposed to what's really necessary in life. And when it comes to my people in general, that's all I see. That's why I don't think it's going to be reparations, because we can't stick together. I don't think it's going to be things like that we can benefit from until we learn how to, you know, each one teach one type shit, you know?
Vogel, you was about to say something?
I was going to ask Kelly, as far as Africans coming here and having that sentiment or way they feel, do you think they have some reason to feel like that?
Okay. So yes, I think, and I've heard this from an African person, when it's kind of goes to back what Jay was saying. They come here and it's like they made it. You know, it's like, oh, you know, it gives them a sense of like an inflated ego. And again, I heard this from an African. I heard this from a Nigerian in Nigeria, because I didn't know. I'm not even gonna hold you, Vulgar. I didn't know where it was. I thought it was a cultural thing, you know, because I'm saying, maybe people from this particular country, they carry it a little bit more arrogant. You know what I mean? Like I just thought, and they say it themselves. Like, this is the other thing where I don't get. Why would I say I have any connection to Africa when friggin' Africans will be like, I'm not black, or don't date an Akata. Like they what is an Akata? Akata is me. I'm a freedman. They don't say don't date a African that had African ancestors from 300 years ago. No, they call me an Akata because they already delineated. They already separated from me. But when I say, oh no, I respect you because I'm a Christian. I respect you. That's your culture. This is my culture. Then it's no. You need to have a connection with Africa. Well, what? Does that mean I need to have a connection with my European ancestors too? Why? What's the fixation with Africa? Because also foundational Black Americans, we have Indian heritage, we have European heritage too. Why we got to claim the African one? You know, like, and it's not the thing with white people.
This is the white supremacist point. This is it, bro. This is it. I'm sorry. Because let me tell you, white people, they don't do that. They have St. Patty's Day. They have their Irish heritage. They have their Italian heritage. They're proud.
Because they came here 50 years ago, Nora.
No,
they didn't. They came here 50 years ago.
Proud.
They're proud. They are proud because they remember their grandma talking about their motherland of friggin' Ireland.
St. Patty's Day.
A white person.
None of them ain't got no Irish accents, but they dress up their green and they get drunk.
Jay, what were you gonna say? I see you shaking your head over there.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, she's right. Because, like, let's say, you know, you're a Black person descended from people that came here, let's say, involuntarily. You came here from a place that doesn't, you know, the region, like it was Northwest Africa, but Mali, like Nigeria, those places didn't exist. So there's no national lineage to identify to. You know, you just identify to, you know, the continent, or let's say the region as a whole. But like people that came here from Ireland and Italy, those places existed when those people came here. You know, Germany existed when my grandfather came here. You know,
and they literally remember. They can pinpoint their heritage like just a couple generations Black. You have the white people.
Ancestry.
Why should I have to do my ancestry? Why should I?
Most of them don't know. They do their ancestry and then they feel proud.
They didn't do their ancestry. Nor that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like Italian Americans that came here with
why do we have St. Patty's Day then?
Okay,
because they came here and remember it.
They brought that tradition with them. What tradition got brought through the transatlantic slave trade?
Let's do a
we speak English. We don't speak African dialects. We don't practice the African religions.
It's funny you say Jamaicans aren't going to be considered Black, but they do. They speak patois.
Exactly. You don't speak the same. I don't speak patois. I don't speak patois. I don't speak. I don't
division, guys. This is why reparations will not come. No, I'm telling you,
it will come if we delineate. We're set. That's my point. That's my point. That's why we need to delineate.
You don't feel any attached to Africa. Vulgar, what about you? You feel the attachment to Africa?
Nope. I've never been there. I only seen it on TV.
Slim, feel the attachment to Africa?
I have a personal attachment to Africa, but overall, no.
Jay, do you feel any attachment to Mexico or Germany?
Honestly, I do feel. I
You
feel,
ain't hurting my feelings, boo.
No, honestly, I do.
I
feel
want you to see
attachment
the visceral hate these people have, bro. Thank you. Keep it coming, because this is proving my point.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I feel attachment to Mexico. I've never, obviously, I was born and raised in California.
Thank you.
But the attachment I feel is a sense of like when I see Mexican people just get beat down and criticized over and over again, and they just keep coming, they just keep living their lives. I feel a sense of pride when I see that.
Okay, Jay.
I'm not allowed to be proud to be German though. This is a separate story, but you're not allowed. It's not allowed.
Okay, Jay, with your Mexican heritage, do you know when did your family come to America?
So on my mom's side, we've been in California for like 5 or 6 generations. So I think the border crossed us in that sense.
Oh, okay.
But as on my mom's father did come here directly from Mexico.
Okay, so it's a close relation.
It's something I've heard. Yeah, I've heard it by mouth I've heard it first person. Yeah,
it's a close.
I get what you're saying.
Close relation. We're talking about. I just think it's insane for anyone to think that they should have a connection with a country. Like this is my thing. Okay, why doesn't everybody identify with Africa? If we're going to go by science, the human race came.
I was just going to say that too.
like I mean, it's
the Great Rift Valley. We all came from there.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, but because it wasn't 1,000 years ago, but it was 300 years ago, I should have some type of connection. That's just absurd. And again, I'm not disrespecting Africa or any other group of people, but it's like it doesn't make sense. And again, they already separate. You if an African goes to I'm not even gonna say that. If a Nigerian immigrates to America and they go on a trip to friggin' Ireland, you think that they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm Nigerian," and they may say, "Well, where do you live?" "Oh, I live in America." Like, but they still identify with that country because that's like directly where they came from. It just I don't know. I just find it absurd. Like. I don't know.
I'm gonna bring the Pan-Africans on. They'll explain it better.
Even white people do it. This is another thing. White people, you ask a white person, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about? I'm white." They're not gonna say, "Oh, I did my ancestry and I'm 25% friggin' Irish and I'm 34% German." Blah blah blah. They say that they're white. Now the ones that again, white people I don't know, and I've spoken to white people. They will if I ask them, "Oh, when did your family come from?" Or when did they come here? They tell me something like within the last 100 years. It's even my ancestors been here even longer.
I haven't said nothing offensive. We're giving opinion. Y'all did not come hard for the guys that said they don't want reparations. I support reparations. Don't worry. You can get your check, honey. I support it. You can delineate because the reality is y'all don't want to accept this, but there is more immigrants in this country if we trace it back.
It is. I do accept that. And that's another reason why we need to delineate so we have more of a chance to get the money. So it's not as many people that need to be paid out. Yes, I do. I 100%. And I'm so glad you said that.
I don't agree with that part.
They do group us.
It's more African Americans than Black immigrants, I think.
No, there's not. There's not. I promise you, there's not.
Begging for money from
there's not.
Sorry.
And
I don't think there is.
Let's go with that, Nora, because the problem also is because they group us together statistically in various when studies are done and this, that, and the third. Again, Black freedmen have more issues, sickle cell, diabetes, various ailments that I talked about earlier that have been have been linked to slavery. Well, if they're grouped with us and we have politicians saying, okay, we got to do stuff for Black people, then guess what's not going to be addressed? The sickle cell or the friggin', that's why we have to separate, because we don't even have the same we don't have the same issues as like, yes, we're all American, but we don't even have the same issues. And again, every other group it's like,
amazing.
I don't know.
If
It's like
we
every
go
other
by
group.
FBA's definition, I would not be related to you. So that's my biggest issue with the FBI. I don't care if you want to delineate, but they're trying. So Jay, to fast forward what you've missed, what I was getting at is they're trying to redefine what Black is in this country, and they're trying to say the only people that are Black are people that are descendants of slavery, and that's like taking from. That's my biggest issue with
So
it.
if your
I don't care
grandfather,
about
so if your grandfather came here from Nigeria, you're not Black.
You're not Black. Correct.
You're not Black American. You're not Black
You're
American.
not Black.
You're not
Okay?
Black American.
You're a
not Black
tether.
American.
This is why they're coming for me, by the way.
You're not.
I need to rile them up. The chats will keep coming. I'll show you.
And
the
this is
hate.
why Vulgar
And
says
they're
the
a hateful
reparations
group,
won't
by the way.
happen because it's too
right.
Okay.
Look, if you want to be called Black, fine. Then I'm freedman. Then we have to whatever you want to call it. Separate us. Separate us. You want to be called Black? Fine, cool. Start
just to
calling
be clear,
me.
though, I hope y'all do get them.
What'd you say?
To be clear, though, I hope the reparations do happen.
Oh, thank you,
Wow,
Jay.
so eggs can go to $15 a carton.
That's not good.
See, and I
like
hope
that, and that's the white supremacist lie again. When
it is. Guess what? Have you ever seen a lawsuit settlement, like a major one? And they'd be like, "Hey, sign up to get your payout." How much is it? And it'd be like
Oh
300 billion settlement, and you get your check and it's $25.
Okay, all right. Let's
Kelly,
call that over.
Can you at least defend that what I'm saying is accurate? That Tariq Nasheed or whoever said that they're trying to redefine the Black definition. Come on, Kelly, you've heard that because they're saying I'm lying now.
I believe you. I truly have not heard that, but I do believe you, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with that because again, there should be a separation. I don't know why everyone else can separate and it's not a problem. But then when Black people, when freedmen do it, it's a problem. And again, we've seen, it's not like we don't know what's happened. We've seen what has happened throughout history in America when we haven't delineated. It's our issues get pushed to the back burner. It's as simple as that. And again, when you're putting everyone together with these numbers,
thank you, amazing.
It's just not the same. I mean,
I'm not pissed. I'm not like you. I support
they
your
hit you with the
culture.
Kendrick Lamar line.
I have kids that are FBA. So like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the hate, bro. And
I will say this. This is why
Embrace the hate.
This is why they're hating, because I will say this. When you talk, or not you specifically, but when people say, well, you shouldn't delineate or blah, blah, blah. The way I take it, I'm not going to hold you. It makes me feel like, hold on, you don't respect my culture. You don't respect my lineage, because why do I have to be connected to you? You know what I'm saying? I respect your culture. I respect your lineage. Why can't you respect mine? Why can't we be allies? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I think the offense comes from. You my girl, so you're not going to offend me, but
this is Kelly. I love you, but this is my thing. We talked about this the other day. Who was one of the most famous Black actors that recently died? That was one of the first Black actors to get nominated for an Oscar. Sidney Poitier. Do you know where he's from? He's not
Bahamas.
FBA.
He's from the Bahamas.
He's not FBA. So for you to sit there and say that people that
immigrated to this country
did not. No, he's not. Sidney Poitier.
I thought you were talking about Harry Belafonte.
No, Sidney Poitier is from the Bahamas. Go look it up.
Oh, yeah. You did tell me that. Okay, cool.
You guys are trying to redefine, and I get that. But to say that immigrants did not contribute to Black culture, to me, blows my mind. Here's
the thing with that. Some might say, well, hold on. This was a Bahamian man that was playing a Black person's role. When that role should have been a Black person's role, and so I'm just saying. And I will speak on Sidney Poitier. No, I'm not gonna speak on him because he wasn't a good dude. I'll speak on Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte, Jamaican heritage. Harry Belafonte was an ally to Black people, helped Black people, freedmen. Was active in the civil rights, all of that, and Jamaican Americans should be proud of Harry Belafonte, and he is one of
not Black Americans, right? Don't be proud of him.
Nora, do you have
No,
No,
to be
I'm
honest
done.
with
We
you,
can
Nora,
wrap up.
no.
Okay,
To be
fine.
honest with you, Nora, no. Or I'll look at it like this. I'll be proud because he's an American. He's an American, you know, or a melanated person, a melanated American. But do I have a connection with him? No, I don't.
We're gonna do a part 2 to this. We'll do a part 2 to this.
Okay.
Go ahead,
please
Nora.
not. I'm done.
Go
I've had
ahead.
enough of this. I can't. I've had enough. I've said it all.
Close.
Thank you for everyone watching. Thank you for the super chats. We appreciate you. Thank you for the subscribers. We will be donating the money and we'll give an amount next week. Does anyone have anything else they want to say?
Go Bucks.
Go Steelers.
Go Chiefs.
One silver lining about the fires is the Vikings Rams game is now on a neutral site. So
yeah.
Yay.
You going for the Vikings, right?
Yeah. No, I'm dead serious.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I think you can see it, but
man, is it George Floyd or?
My dad's from Minnesota.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I had to see the connection. I had to see where it was.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I had a lot of fun talking about these topics. Everybody was energized. It was a great time.
Absolutely. Great show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you,
guys. I appreciate you guys.
God bless. Bye-bye.
You guys have a good night.
Fix your heart.